This is Jonathan Agger, Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by journalist Colin Hart. We're here at Wembley Arena. Colin, I was just asking you about the first time you were here at Wembley, and that was back in the days of Henry Cooper. You were here for Lewis and McCall. What's it like coming back, all these years later and stuff?
Oh, I mean, we really haven't been away. It used to be called the Empire Paul Wembley when I started coming here in the 1960s. I mean, I've seen some really great fights here. I mean, I saw Emil Griffith fight Brian Curvis in the 60s for the World Welterweight title. I've seen, the late... Anyway, I've seen so many great fights. Henry Cooper, Bugner, Henry Cooper, Billy Walker, as you say, Lennox Lewis, McCall, Frank Bruno fought here, Brian London. I mean, you could go on and on and on. Many, many great fights.
Just before we talk about, the boxing coming up, on that, when you were ringside for Lewis McCall, what was it like, at ringside when he got knocked out? Because I guess at that time it was one of the biggest upsets.
I must say, I did make my American colleagues smile that night. Lennox Lewis was the first British heavyweight champion of the world since Bob Fitzsimmons. And when McCall knocked him out, I turned to the American writers behind me and I said, that Canadian never could fight.
Well, Colin, we've got a big heavyweight fight in 2 weeks. Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk. You were ringside for the first fight in Riyadh, and I remember you saying at the time you felt Fury should call it a day, but he is in the rematch.
I didn't say he should call it a day. Well, I did say I thought he would lose, and the reason I thought he was past his best and in decline. I didn't say he should call it a day. I didn't ask for him to retire, but I was proved right on that occasion. I've been right many times. I've been wrong many times. I don't mind being wrong as long as what I consider being wrong for the right reasons.
Fair enough. Apologies for the misquote. I thought I read that you called for him to retire, but anyway, he's fighting in 2 weeks in the rematch. What, in your opinion, does he have to do to win this rematch, and do you believe he can win the rematch?
Well, I don't think he can win the rematch. I think we're going to say more of the same. I don't think Fury has got better since last May. I think psychologically this will have affected him, losing to Usyk, losing his title and his unbeaten record. I think Usyk has got his number, and so I could be wrong, but I honestly believe we're going to see more of the same. I will go even further. Usyk nearly stopped him in that 9th round in the last fight, and it wouldn't surprise me if he does stop him in the later rounds this time.
One of the big talking points from the first fight was Fury's corner and too many voices. It does sound like it's just going to be Sugar Hill and Andy Lee. What difference will that make, do you think?
Well, it makes a difference. His father was not a good influence in the corner that night. He was disruptive, and that's not good for any fighter to have a disruptive corner in the middle of such an important fight. So it would be better if his father stepped back, sat in a ringside seat, and didn't interfere with the professionals doing their job in the corner.
The winner, or maybe the loser if it is Fury, do you expect the Anthony Joshua fight to happen? Do you expect Anthony Joshua to go straight into a Tyson Fury fight regardless of what happens?
Well, at the moment we're told Joshua is injured, but we're not told exactly what his injury is. I don't know whether Joshua would fight Usyk again if Usyk wins. But I can see him fighting Fury if Fury was to win, or even if Fury was to lose. I think Fury and Joshua is still a fight that British fans want to see. Now, if Usyk should lose, that it could be a trilogy, a third fight between Fury and Usyk.
Daniel Dubois defending his heavyweight title on February 22nd. A lot of people, Colin, are saying this is the best card they've ever seen. You know, are people going over the top with that? You know, have you seen a better card top to bottom than this?
This is the best card Riyadh has ever seen, except for the last best card Riyadh has ever seen. But on paper, it is a very interesting evening.
And what's your thoughts on Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker? Is Joseph Parker, you know, hitting the form to beat Daniel Dubois at this point?
Well, he is a fighter in form, and he's a very good boxer, technically sound, big heart, and he will test Dubois, no doubt about that. I don't think that he can beat Dubois at this stage of his career, but he won't be wiped out the way Joshua was.
We're at the top of the card, that's Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry, Bivol 2. The first fight was so close. How do you think the second fight's going to go?
Oh, again, I picked Beterbiev to win that one. And it was, you couldn't get a cigarette paper between the two. I thought Beterbiev deserved the verdict. I thought he did it over the last 2 rounds, but it was very, very close. If Bivol had been given that decision, I wouldn't have complained. It was that tight. But Beterbiev, he's not getting any younger. He'll be, I don't know whether he'll past 40.
Yeah, I think he's about 40, yeah.
Well, he's 39 last time. Again, it could go either way. So I think that Beterbiev is still good enough to win it the second fight.
And then I know you said you didn't watch the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight, but you know, a lot of people suggesting this has affected Mike's legacy, losing to Jake Paul. Has it really?
Legacy? No, it's a joke, a farce, a charade. You know, it should never happen. So, to me, I'm a boxing correspondent. That was not boxing. I mean, they fight 2-minute rounds, 14-ounce gloves. So how can it be a legitimate professional fight?
And just finally, Colin, Gervonta Davis said this week that he's got 1 more year left in boxing. Do you believe that? Do you think, you know, do you think he will call it, you know, the end of his career in 2025?
Who knows what is in these guys' minds? He said it yesterday. He could change his mind tomorrow. I mean, he is one of the great fighters. I love watching him. He's dynamic. He's also a good boxer, and he can punch. And he's, you know, he's one of the all-time greats of the last 10 years.
Colin, appreciate your time as always. Hopefully you get out to Riyadh as you were for the first fight, and I look forward to speaking to you again.
My pleasure.
Thank you.